Section 9. Refusal to negotiate. Fair housing practice. In the market introduction, when silence becomes discrimination. As we move forward from accommodations and lending practices, we now focus on another critical violation that often goes unnoticed: refusal to negotiate. Many agents think discrimination only happens when something is said out loud, but in reality, it can also happen through inaction. Imagine a buyer submits a strong offer on a property, fully qualified and ready to move forward. Instead of responding, the agent ignores the offer or delays communication. If that decision is based on the buyer being part of a protected class, it becomes illegal. In 2026, regulators are paying close attention not only to what agents say, but also to how they act, or fail to act, in a transaction. What is refusal to negotiate? Refusal to negotiate occurs when a real estate professional or property owner declines to engage in or respond to a legitimate offer based on a person's protected class. This includes race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, or familial status. The law is very clear. It is illegal to refuse to negotiate or ignore a valid offer for discriminatory reasons. This means every qualified buyer or tenant must be given a fair opportunity to participate in the transaction. Real case example: when bias becomes liability. A real-world example highlights how serious this violation can be. In a case involving Caroline Vanden Berk, a property owner openly stated that she did not racially mix her properties. When an African-American couple inquired about a 2-bedroom apartment, she redirected them to a different property instead of negotiating for the advertised unit. The couple filed a complaint, and investigators confirmed that the owner maintained segregated housing practices. The court ultimately ruled against the owner, awarding damages for emotional distress, humiliation, and deprivation of civil rights. This case shows that refusal to negotiate is not just about ignoring offers. It includes redirecting, discouraging, or limiting opportunities based on discrimination. Rental discrimination, more than just saying no. Refusal to negotiate is closely tied to rental discrimination, which can take many forms. Fair housing law requires that all renters be treated equally in terms of pricing, availability, and access to amenities. Examples of rental discrimination include denying available units to certain groups, charging higher rent or deposits, limiting where families with children can live within a property, or restricting access to shared amenities such as pools or gyms. These actions may seem subtle, but they create unequal housing opportunities and are illegal under federal law. The hidden risk: unintentional violations. One of the biggest risks for real estate professionals is unintentional discrimination. Many property owners and even agents may not fully understand fair housing laws and end up violating them without realizing it. However, the law does not excuse ignorance. Courts consistently hold that lack of knowledge is not a valid defense. This is why education is critical. As an agent, you are expected to guide your clients, especially investors and landlords, so they do not unknowingly violate the law. Steering: influencing decisions without saying it directly. Another related violation is steering, which occurs when an agent directs buyers or renters toward or away from certain neighborhoods based on protected characteristics. Steering is often subtle. It may involve suggesting certain areas, limiting property options, or making comments that influence a client's decision based on assumptions. For example, if an agent assumes a buyer would feel more comfortable in a certain neighborhood and only shows homes in that area, that could be considered steering, even if the intention was to help. The key issue is whether the agent's actions limit housing choices based on a protected class. When client requests cross the line. A challenging situation arises when clients themselves request guidance based on protected characteristics. For example, a buyer may ask to only see homes in a neighborhood based on religion or ethnicity. If the agent independently supports or reinforces that preference, it can become a violation. However, if the agent simply follows objective criteria and does not impose limitations or express agreement with discriminatory preferences, they may remain compliant. The safest approach is always to redirect the conversation toward objective factors such as price, location, school ratings, commute times, and property features. Why refusal to negotiate matters in today's market? In today's fast-moving real estate market, offers come quickly and decisions are made fast. This creates opportunities for both compliance and violations. Every offer must be presented, every qualified party must be treated equally, and every decision must be based on legitimate business factors, not bias. failure to do so can result in lawsuits, financial penalties, and damage to your professional reputation. Connecting this section to your daily practice. As a real estate professional, your role is to facilitate fair and equal access to housing. This means responding to all offers in a timely manner, treating all clients equally, avoiding assumptions about protected classes, ensuring your actions do not limit housing opportunities. Refusal to negotiate is not always obvious, but its impact is significant. Understanding this concept is essential as we continue building your knowledge of fair housing compliance and risk management. Online discussion. Question 1. What is considered refusal to negotiate under fair housing law? Answer: ignoring or refusing to engage with a legitimate offer based on a person's protected class. Question 2. Why is steering considered illegal? Answer: because it limits a buyer's housing options based on protected characteristics, creating unequal opportunities. Question 3. How should an agent handle discriminatory client requests? Answer: by redirecting the conversation toward objective criteria and avoiding any agreement with discriminatory preferences.